Hey, hey, Kool-aid Krew, what is crack-a-lackin'? Guys, just like I said yesterday, wanted to come on here when we started seeing the beginnings of this solar storm, and we are definitely seeing the beginnings of this solar storm. So we're going to talk about, hey, Wise Jen, hey, and everybody else, good to see everybody in there. Stacy, Jennifer, good to see you. Sean, you're awesome, brother. Karen, good to see you. Laura, who else is in here right now? Stacy, good to see you. Wise Jen, Tiger, and yes, thank you for becoming a member. Scrappy Cat, I love that, love that, love that, love that. It is much appreciated, and I will be doing some members only stream this probably either in the middle or next weekend. Today was my daughter's graduation party. That was a big deal. We all had a lot of things going. It's good to see everybody in there, guys. You guys really do warm my heart. I can't even tell you how much it really does pick me up. I really do appreciate you guys so much. It's the only crew on the internet that I can go AWOL for like 3 weeks and come back, and you guys know that I was gone for a good reason, and you're still here. It's something special that we have here, And I'm trying to take Miss Dragon's advice and not overpromise. That's hard for me to do sometimes because I want to do so much, and when I do say I'm going to do something, I really have every intentions of doing it. It's just sometimes it just doesn't pan out that way, and it isn't good for the internet. I shouldn't do that, and it's really good advice, and I'm trying to apply what she told me there, and I do think that I'm getting a little better at it. I still fail at it sometimes, but I do think it's going to get better too now that my daughter is graduated. Her graduation ceremony is tomorrow, so I'm going to do that tomorrow afternoon, and after that, she's got a job this summer, and she's going to college, so we're going to be doing, things are good, and I'm going to be here with you guys every day, so. And that's where I want to be. Hey, Miss V, good to see everybody. Hey, Opposite, good to see you. Heather Jackson, what's up, Jerry? Virginia, hey, everybody's in here. Linda, what's happening? R. Hobbs. Wow. Appreciate all you guys. Okay, so, yeah, like I said yesterday, guys, here it is. I mean, you can see it right here. I was waiting on this model to update, and it did. Look at that thing. This is not a joke. Okay, and I don't say that in a fearful way. If it comes across like a fearful way, hey, Nikki, thank you. Thank you for being a member for 14 months. Wow, I didn't even know my thing was up there for 14 months. I'm serious. You must have been like first month member or something. That's awesome. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you. But thank you. Thank you, Nikki. That's awesome. Let me highlight that. And Scrappy Cat, thank you for becoming a member even before I started the show. That's how awesome you guys are. I mean, seriously. I just can't. It blows my mind sometimes, and I know I talk about it a lot, and I get a lot of flack from a lot of people for that. But you know what? I'm not gonna not show gratitude because you guys are just, yeah, it's not right, And I can't overdo it. I get it. That's really that is why I try to do my space weather right at the beginning and just kind of concentrate. But yeah, me too, Hopperson. I'm old too. Actually, I turned 50 this year. So anyway, okay. So listen, this is the NASA Enlil model that I show you guys. I used to show you this all the time. This model is no longer a current model. It's still being used, which is why I'm showing it to you now because everybody understands this one. But I wanted to show you this one in particular today because, again, this is a top-down version. This one here in the middle is a side cut. And this here is our orbital line around the sun, stretched out in a straight line. All three of these are bullseye, right on the Earth. And when we seen it erupt yesterday, I showed you guys like that umbrella of things that was happening. And I'll show it to you again here in just a minute. It was so dead center. And, the CME that was involved with the flare wasn't all that big. It destabilized the filament all the way across the face of the sun. That filament lifted off, and that's what's coming at us. Okay? Right now, we're probably getting hit with the CME prior to this one. This is not the main show, guys. Okay, this is pushed. It's real close to the main show. Okay, because it's what it's done is it's pushed the CME that was in front of it towards us quicker, and this is about right on time. So, and you guys heard me say if this thing does, I wouldn't say that, Salty Berry. You know, if a Carrington level event, I'm probably not going to be able to come out here and even give you a warning for it. It's just that powerful of a thing. We may see it because a lot of times the flare with Carrington style events is going to be so strong that it's going to knock out some. The X-rays themselves are going to mess up communication so bad. Our technology isn't going to work correct. Now we're not going to lose power at that point until the CME gets here, but it still will mess with our radio propagation, our GPSs, all that stuff. So getting on YouTube would probably be down, is what I'm trying to tell you. All of it will, just because of that style of a flare that's going to be Carrington level style is going to be something that none of us has ever experienced, and we really don't want to have to experience that, guys. It's not going to be fun at all when those kinds of things happen. And hope, you know, maybe it won't happen in our lifetime. You know, we're seeing things that kind of point towards, yeah, maybe. But I'm never ever going to give 100% on that, because we certainly cannot give 100% on and know 100% that that's going to happen while we're all still here. I could give you other probabilities, but if you want my opinion, it's about a 50-50 for me. Whether we'll see a Carrington style event in my lifetime, which is 20 to 30 years, which would be my expected lifespan here. So, I think that that's possible, and I hope it's not, for my sake and for my kids. But it is what it is. Okay. So, the first thing I noticed about this, if you guys remember me commenting yesterday, was how fast this thing was just moving. Okay, it's here in 24 hours, and guys, that's close to 4 million miles per hour. I don't know, even the big superstorm of last year, back in April of last year, didn't move this fast. Okay, so I want everybody to understand that. Hey, Ripper, what's happening? Oh, really? That's interesting. That's interesting, Ripper. Here, I'm gonna flop. It's hitting right now, and this is why I'm here. I told you guys I was gonna try to come on here when this thing, started to hit. Yeah, it's booking into Jeremy. It truly is. This is something that people really need to, pay attention to. I'm not saying that we're going to have any kind of grid down or anything like that, okay? I'm not saying that at all. I don't think that that's going to happen. I do think that we can see regional power issues. I really do. If this thing hits like this, is like I'm showing you right here, if it happens exactly like what this model's showing us, hey, Scrappy Cat, thank you for becoming a member. We have to understand, yeah, the Aurora is going to be awesome tonight, guys. I mean, I didn't even see that. Hey, IG, good to see you. The earthquake, but the Aurora from this is going to be up. That's kind of disheartening, man. I hope it ain't got nothing to do with this, but if it just happened as this thing's hitting, I mean, it's hard to kind of, say that they didn't have anything to do with that. You know what I mean? I'm done just sitting back and not putting two and two together, okay? Like I've been doing in the background forever. Hey, Daniel. And I don't want to come out here and say something and it ends up looking like I was crying wolf. You know what I mean? So sometimes I think I'm too cautious. So, I'm going to give my opinion. So if it's my opinion, I'm just going to say it's my opinion. No matter how big or how grand it could be at the time, I guess. So that's kind of how I'm going to move forward, because I don't think I need to be as timid as I used to be. I think I just need to trust myself and, what I think is going to happen, and hopefully I can relay that to you guys. But anyway, this is here in less than 24 hours. That's close to 4 million miles per hour. Okay? I mean, And this model right here, again, this is top down. So let me, you see how it hit right there? I mean, just dead smack in the middle. This is dead. This is the side cut, so that's north-south. So it ain't going to go north or south of us. It's coming right at us. And look at, I've never seen this. Okay? I have never seen this so symmetrically around the Earth like this on this particular part of this model. Ever. Now, I'm not saying it has never looked like that. I'm just saying I personally have not seen it like that. So that's something new to me to see. And I'm going to try to stop it as it gets right to the Earth. Ah, shoot. Too far. It's hard to do on this movie player because it just doesn't do. There it is. You see that? Look at that. That is extreme dense material. Okay, so for something that dense to be moving at the speed that it's moving, if it hits bullseye like this thing is showing us right now, okay, let me just do this. I didn't show you this yet. This is their forecast, guys. They don't forecast a G4 storm unless they are like just dead certain it's going to happen, because that is a big storm. That is it's ranked severe on the storm level. Okay, so I can show you that too. Let me go to the space weather scales here. A G4 storm, severe. What can we see in these things? Possible widespread voltage control problems. Protective systems will mistakenly trip out. Those are your GFCI types of things. But that kind of stuff would be happening at like the transformer level, substations and things during these G4 storms. Now it could happen in your house too, but that's what they're mainly talking about. Okay, spacecraft operations. They may have to steer these satellites back into space. And what have we been talking about, guys? The South Atlantic anomaly. Okay, so anybody in that area on Earth, and especially the astronauts that are up there right now, I guarantee you they're making and have already made precautions for this. Okay, they probably got their astronauts in the safety protocol right now because of this. And what they do is they probably put them into a part of the spacecraft that has more and more walls between them and the outside. Because, you know, you have to understand, when they're up there orbiting the Earth, they're not like outside of our magnetic field. They're still partly inside our magnetic field. They're being protected by our magnetic field. If they were hanging out there like the SOHO satellite is, they wouldn't survive very long. They would get ate up by radiation. So when the satellites and the spacecraft, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Let me just take you. Well, oh yeah, we'll do this first. So when they orbit above the South Atlantic anomaly, they get an extra dose of radiation there than what they normally would be in any other part of the orbit. Okay, and people think that the South Atlantic anomaly is a hole. It's not. Okay, it's more. You have to think of it like magnetic field lines, right? Like, remember me yesterday showing you these lines? If you could take those lines like a slinky, and Tamitha Scove, you guys got to get over and check her channel out. She did an awesome video earlier about this storm. Please go check her out. That's free college, guys, and she explains it in a way that we can all understand it. Jammer actually posted the link and stuff in the chat and stuff to me anyway. He texted me that, and I think he sent it to some of my mods and stuff too. But she just does such a great job over there. But anyway, you can think of our magnetic field as a slinky, like the Earth sitting in the middle of a slinky that's been stretched around in a circle shape. Okay, so like over the South Atlantic anomaly, what would happen is those magnetic field lines would spread apart more than what they are normally would be on the other parts of the planet. So they don't have as much protection in that area because the magnetic field line is further away from the next magnetic field line than what is normal to be there. Okay, and I know that that's that can be kind of hard to understand, but it's not quote unquote a hole, right? And we've all been, you know, raised to talk about ozone holes and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not here to talk about that. But we have to understand that that's what's going on in that part of our planet. So when the astronauts and any satellites and stuff flying over that area, they get smashed with that extra little dose. If it's like a G4 storm like this, you know, and I want to say this too real quick. They're forecasting a G4 storm. When they forecast that, there is a plus minus here, okay? So if it ends up being on a minus, it could be a G3. We're already at a G2. And I'll show that to you here in a minute. But don't forget, it can go to a G5 too. So if everything just lines up like it can, it might not. It could just stay at a G4, right? Or it could go to a G2 or a G3 and stay there. Nobody knows, and that's why I'm nowcasting. Now, we have some pretty good ideas, but they don't put this G4 here, guys, for no reason. They don't like doing that unless they are really confident that that's happening. So I want to stress that, because it's not a normal forecast, in my opinion, when they put that there. They do take that a little bit more serious than what, you know, they might be more apt to just throw a G1 on here. Well, that might happen. Let's just put it there, right? Now, a lot of this is automated too, and they're going off math. But there is a human element involved here on that. So we have to keep that in mind. Now, I do find it interesting that they did push this back. Let's see here. 3, 6, 9, 12. They pushed it back about 12 hours. Like they thought it was moving slower. And it could be. But I was actually kind of on board with that until right before I started to go live here, I looked at this, the HP. Look, we're in a geomagnetic storm right now. This is happening right now. It went, and, you know, and it's ramping up like this, like that first one is hitting, and then my thing is, what's in between it? Between the first one and the second one, we're going to get that buildup of density, and when that hits, it's almost like a co-rotating interaction region, a CIR that we talk about. I can explain that real quick. You see these magnetic field lines, right? And then you see these kind of just the greens and the blues. Well, in between those colors, sometimes there's a CIR, a co-rotating interaction region. When that hits Earth, it's just a buildup, like what I just said. A CIR can actually put us into a geomagnetic storm just as easy as anything else. It's just a buildup in between two separate solar wind streams. One moving faster than the other one, and the one that's moving faster is the one that's behind. Just like what we're seeing right now with two CMEs. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, again, I want to stress this too. Look at this, guys. I mean, that is just such a bullseye hit. I've not seen this model ever do that. You know, I've seen it give us a direct hit. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that looks like a big old, just a ball of plasma. And if it's moving that fast and then actually hits it like that, I really do think that this is going to be G4 at least. So I'll just say that. Now, sorry about that, guys. I had to take a drink. I need to mute when I do that. It's kind of rude. I apologize. But yesterday, guys, you remember when I showed you guys this, right? The long duration flare. You know, it really did not stop until probably here. So that was like a 4 or 5 hour flare, guys. Maybe even 6, maybe even longer than that. But it flared again. And then it flared again. And then it flared again. And then it flared some more. I'm not kidding. This thing has just been completely just bam, 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 bam. It's like a, you know, and again, this is reminiscent of that solar storm we had about 1.5 years ago. That's exactly what had happened. It was a hyperactive, and there was 2 of them, and it was a bunch of other stuff involved too, but that was part of it. A hyperactive sunspot that just started flaring. and you know, CMEs and stuff like that started coming with it. But if you guys remember when I showed you guys this, we were about right here in time frame. And remember I pointed out that little uptick, that little notch, and I said, hey, you know, we can get a delayed reaction of a radiation storm. Look what happened. No sooner than I went, you know, no sooner than I ended the show, I started watching this thing, and every hour it just kept increasing. And at one point I thought it was going to kind of stop right here, and it just kept climbing. It's still climbing. Now, an S1 radiation storm is nothing to worry about. Okay? It's not going to affect us, not even one little bit. They'll tell you that. Even their scales will tell you that. Now, S2, slight effects. S3, then we're going to talk about it. Okay? I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time on this, but other than to say that these are... A radiation storm is an increase of protons. That's how they measure them. Okay? So, that just points to, hey, you know, these are from CMEs. It grabbed our magnetic connection line, and here it comes. And that's exactly what happened. So, and it's still rising. Now, when this thing hits, like it is right now, we're probably going to get an influx of protons then also. But what else you will see, it may like drastically rise really quickly, but it'll fall off just as fast. And the reason I say that is because now those protons are being flushed out because the solar wind is moving so fast. So it just kind of grabs it, pushes it out the back. You know what I'm saying? Hey Trish, good to see you. Okay, so see guys, this is where we're at right now. Look, all three of these are lit up right now. So this is telling me, because well, nope, this isn't it now. So we're at S1 radiation storm. We're at G1 officially. And this right here, you don't see this very often in this box. Okay, that's a G4. So, and I also want to stress that not just today, they're saying G4 for tomorrow and a G2 for the following day. This is not going to be just a 24-hour thing. Look at the forecast here. Okay? So we're G4, G3, back to G4, G3, G2, and then things start to wind down, right? Now, this is barring anything else happening. And the reason why this got added on here was all these flares. These flares and stuff started popping, so it started popping other CMEs. And they're not as big or as powerful, but that's why this is going to be increased. Plus, coronal holes. We can't forget the whole thing started with like coronal hole streams. 3 days ago. We had a 24-hour geomagnetic storm because of a coronal hole. So, I mean, this is what you know, if we hadn't been juiced up like that, we might not be getting to these levels right now. But to have a powerful flare like this right in front of us it's not common. It's not, like, uncommon either, okay? We expect to see some of this stuff, right? But I just want to make sure you guys understood. And see, that one was after the one that second bigger one was probably this one, okay? Because it was more long duration. It wasn't more. This is kind of impulsive, straight up, straight down. This one kind of went up and then kind of tailed down, right? When we see the longer duration ones, those usually produce CMEs, okay? But let's the coronagraphs have actually updated also. So if I take you guys, well, I'm gonna have this thing load a different image here. Let's go ahead and take it to the 304 here. So, well, daggone, that loaded fast. Don't usually load that fast. Why I'm showing you this is because we can see the dark shadows, and that's the filament, and we'll see that here in a minute. But let me go over here to SDO, okay? Not SDO, but SOHO. This is the one that's right out in front of us. It's about 1 million miles closer to the sun. That's where this satellite's at. This is a physical disk, okay? And this is the LASCO C2 tool that's on that satellite. It's a coronagraph. And it's a more zoomed in version of the LASCO C3 which is this blue one here. Okay, you see how it's zoomed out there? Now again, they're going to not use the Soho Coronagraph much longer for the official Coronagraph for forecasting. They're switching over to the Gong, which is, it's GOES 19, and there's a tool on there called Gong, and it's a Coronagraph also. It's in a different position. It's GOES 19, I believe, is orbiting in a similar height as the rest of the GOES satellites. So it's more of a lower Earth orbit. It's not out there a million miles closer to the sun, I don't think. I need to look into that, so don't quote me on that yet, but I don't think it's out there like Soho is. They usually keep these GOES satellites kind of inside our protection. And for that very reason, for protection, to make sure that they last longer. So that's why they do that. But anyway, so that's why where am I at here? Okay, here. So this is Soho. I'm still going to show it to you until they take it away from us, because I think it's a really, really good way to show you guys. This is right when this flare happened, right? So as I keep moving forward, it's a full halo. Look at this. Okay? And still, the speed of this thing has still got me just baffled. It's really fast, guys. It's already off the screen. Okay? For a CME to leave the sun and to be off the screen in 9 hours is pretty impressive. Okay, but see what happens after? So you're going to see another one here in just a minute. That's why I'm doing this. Okay, you see here, up through here, you see that? That was that second CME I showed you guys. That's actually a third. That would be a third. Okay, so it's kind of like a half halo here. They do think this is going to hit. So that's another one. That's another reason why these geomagnetic storms are getting extended out like they are. Now look over here on this coronagraph here. It's the same imaging. It's just a different color. This is a difference image. This is more of a standard coronagraph. But whenever you see these specks, those are highly charged particles hitting the camera. That's your radiation storm. Okay? So that's what's hitting that. That's why it looks like that. Now I've shown you guys bigger ones. Now again here, guys, this is the beginning of that CME. Look at that. I wasn't able to show you this yesterday because it wasn't there. So, look at that. I mean, when you see that, I mean, you know. And look, when you see that, your butt puckers, number one, until you figure out whether or not it's either going off the backside or coming at you. And if it's coming at you, then you might need to get some Pepto-Bismol or something and then go look again. I don't know, but no, I don't ever get like that. I was just making a joke. And when I say I'm not fearful of any of this, I am absolutely not fearful of this. Ever. You will never, ever see me scared of this. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But one of the biggest reasons is I don't fear things I can't control. We have absolutely no control with any of this. And what we do is we become aware of what's happening, right? And because we're aware, when something happens, the shock scare part is not there. So you make a better decision in the moment. Okay? So just understand that. It really does. Miss V, you say that, and that happens a lot. I'm not kidding you. Just kind of helps get you out of a funk sometimes, just being a mod on other channels and stuff. Get you to be productive and things like that. I know for me, when I got stuck in my house for however long I have been, and when I started modding on other channels, it just makes you feel better. You're talking to other people, which is why when I come here and do these, I feel so much better. Hey, if anybody sees Planet Hermit, tell them I said hey, and tell them to send me an email. I want to make sure Planet Hermit's okay. I haven't seen him since I've been back, and I get worried about people that are normally here. I just want to make sure they're okay. If you guys know they're okay, let me know. so I don't sit here and worry. So I really do. I get worried about people. Um, it just, yeah. So when I was gone for 3 weeks, twice, which was, yeah. Anyway, that's not going to happen again, by the way. I need to, whenever that happens in the future, guys, I'm going to do my best to come out and tell you guys, because the whole time it was never intentional to stay gone that long anyway. I always thought I was going to be gone a couple days, and it just turned into whatever it turned into. And I should have come out and dropped a community post or something. So I do apologize for that. That was not, I probably should have did it a different way. But, okay, so the BZ is very important. So when the BZ is pointing south, which means it's in the negative. Okay, we see the -6. You guys hear me harp on that all the time, right? When it's -6, it's going to be purple here. It's going to light up purple. Now, what's happened here is we went -6 for a few hours here, and then it went positive again. Okay? This is pretty normal, especially when we're starting to get a first hit of these things. It's going to jump up, down, and around. Back at you, Tommy. I mean, I really do, Tommy Bird. I mean, I worry about people. I know it sounds ridiculous to worry about somebody in your chat, but I really do care. It bothers me. A short email saying, "Hey, Wages, I'm okay." That's all I need. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure people are okay. We've lost people, guys. People have passed on, and it sucks when that happens. But we want to know that so we can do the proper thing for them. But anyway. This -6 is important to understand. So if we get into -6 or more, you can pretty much bet with any kind of speed, any kind of density, with that, it's going to put you into a geomagnetic storm. Alright? So as I move forward here, and look what happens here. It goes down. And it's jumping up and down right now. I do think it'll settle in to one or the other. Alright? It's usually what happens. So if it's going to be mainly positive or mainly negative, it will settle in. Okay? And then it'll probably hang out there for a pretty good duration of the whole storm. That's usually what happens. So what I'm saying is, if it settles into the negative, we are most definitely going to be in the higher end of this geomagnetic storm. Okay? Now, people ask me all the time, what's normal speed for solar wind? Okay, if you look over here, see right now your scale is 500 to 900. Normal ambient speed, what we would consider normal, is anywhere between 3 and 500. 3 and 400 is not even on the graph right now. So it's elevated, and it's staying elevated. It's been 700 or bigger for all day long, for almost like a week. It's not really a week, probably like 3 or 4 days. So, and it started with that coronal hole stream. But you can see how this is what I call popcorn. It's not a straight line. When these dots, it's a data point. So when it takes a reading, it plots it with a little point, right? So if the points line up at the same level, it starts to look like a straight line. Well, this looks like popcorn. That means it's fluctuating. And so is the density. Now, that is one thing I'm watching here. Because the density is only showing 10 right now. And it's not even anywhere close. If the density really starts to jack up and get high here, with this kind of speed, it's going to hit us hard. That's just how it works, guys. So, I don't want to harp on any of that, but that's what's happening. Okay, so this is a 304. This is extreme ultraviolet. Again, it's the same satellite I showed you guys earlier. But I showed you guys this yesterday when we had the bigger CME eruption. And I'm going to show it to you again. It's getting ready to happen right about there. Right there. See that? Now, let me, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to back this up because I want you guys to see what happened here. So, if you look right here in the middle, That's where the flare happened, right? In the initial, what we would call the CME, right? But it's not. It's kind of fooling people. What's happening is we're having this big flare, right? There's really not a whole lot of plasma ejecting out from right here where the flare is. Okay, watch what happens. You guys see how that, you see quite a bit of X-ray right there, but do you see this line right here? Let me back it up. I showed it to you guys yesterday a little bit too. If you kind of just like look at this, and I know this is going to sound weird, but through your peripheral vision, sometimes you can see these little differences in the shading better. So as I move forward, you're going to see it light up kind of like right in here. That's a filament. See that? Almost like it lit up in fire right there. That filament released. That's the CME. At least part of it. And it was caused because this flare was so strong. It destabilized that. Then that filament, they hang out there in the corona, and when they release out, I've watched them, guys. You can get explained to you like an old incandescent light bulb, right? An old incandescent light bulb for us old folk. It's a little filament inside of the glass bulb, right? And they take that filament and they twist it. And when they twist it, it causes resistance on that wire, that filament, as the electricity is being passed through there. What's the resistance do? It causes friction. What's friction do? Produces heat. What's heat do? Produces your light. That's how a light bulb works. Now, that's not an LED. That's an old incandescent light bulb. But that's what these are. We call these filaments for that same reason. So when your light bulb goes out, that filament breaks. That's what goes out. So when these filaments lift off, there goes all that power. Plasma and stuff just gets spewed out into space. That's what we're seeing, guys. So hopefully I kind of explain that to people where they can at least have some sort of better understanding of that. But watch right here, guys. I showed you guys this yesterday. I thought this like little slinky thing. Oh, and thank you guys for having some fun in the comment section with the basketball bug and the potato bug and all that. I thought that was cool. You guys were having some fun in the comment section. I was talking with a couple of you. But that's what this looks like, right? Look at that. See that? You can literally see the magnetic field lines there. That's what that is. Those are magnetic connection lines. And you're seeing plasma or charged particles, same thing, traveling on those lines. And I explained it yesterday, it's like a canopy over your head. If you were standing on the surface of the sun, you looked up, it would be nothing but haze, because you would be standing under a canopy of plasma. And obviously we know that can't happen. I'm just saying, but that's kind of what it would look like. Hey, J-Man, what's happening, brother? I ain't seen you in a minute. Renee, what's up? Linda. Yeah, it's got to be a miserable mist. I'm sorry you're going through that, sister. Really, for real. Donald Wages. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Are we related somewhere, Donald? I don't know. That's right, baby. Maybe it's I guess it could be one of my uncles. I don't know. I talked to some of my uncles today. Maybe their screen name is that. I'm not sure. I'm really not. If it's one of my uncles, hey, if you're my family member or a cousin or somewhere, let me know. Hit me up on my email. We'll talk about it. Wages is not an uncommon name, but it's not a common name either. I don't, when I hear somebody named Wages, I don't usually, like, here the town I live in, it's Wages is the family that I have are the Wages that live here. Everybody else is Wagers or something like that with the R in it. That's not my name. Wages is. Oh, okay. Okay. We could be cousins, bud. We really could. First, second, maybe. I don't know. Not first cousins, but maybe second or third. Never know. Uncle Donald wages. What shit? Because I actually was talking to my uncle today at my daughter's graduation party, and was telling him about he asked me about the channel a little bit, and I told him. So obviously, I'm 50, so my uncles are in their 70s. Navigating the internet isn't the easiest thing for people of that age. And I say that with all respect. I'm not trying to be a butthead with that. It's just true. So I ended up telling him the name of the channel. I said, it's got your name in it, so you should be able to remember it. Hopefully. Okay, so as you can see here, guys, we've dumped back down below a 5. We're still, that would technically still be a G1 storm right now. But let me show you why I think that that's happening. The BZ, okay? See how we were here, and then we went into the geomagnetic storm? Then it went positive again. I do think, and I do 100% agree with their forecasting here. I think we got a few more hours before we really take the big hit here. Okay? If we were not increasing here still, I might have a little bit different opinion. But, hey, Angels Lane, good to see you. Hey, Steve, what's up, brother? Anybody that's a member, you guys, when you guys pop in here, you always remind me. I'm going to be doing a members only stream either the middle of this week or sometime later next week, or later in this week. I'm doing one this week. I'm letting you guys know that. I got some stuff I want to run by you guys. It's not nothing like crazy or anything like that, but we're going to play some games. I want to see what you guys want to do inside the members only streams, because I won't like hide anything behind a paywall. I'm not going to like do space weather, important space weather stuff in the members only stream. I won't do that. I don't think that that's cool. I hate it when other people do, paywalls and stuff like that. So we have fun over there. That's what we do. We connect with each other. And I am working on getting merch, guys. I'm probably going to start with like a coffee cup, those kinds of things. With my daughter graduating, it's going to kind of free me up a little bit. At least I think so. I hope it does, so I can work on that kind of thing a little bit harder. So yeah, I'm working on upgrading my stuff here too. I actually have fiber optic. Man, I tell you, you start getting new services like that, they got to come dig and everything else, and they still haven't come dug yet. And they were it should have been in 3 weeks ago. So now they're giving us 5 months free once they get it hooked up. So yeah, my son's dealing with that. My son's awesome. But this is Helio Viewer. Okay, these are the sunspots. Notice how this sunspot itself, it just looks like it's not as intense, and it's true, because it's not. It's starting to stable out a little bit. It's probably losing some of the energy that it had because it's already expended it, okay? But I don't like saying that too often, because this thing still has enough and is in the right position. If it does anything at all, it's going to hit us again, okay? So just kind of know that, all right? Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I can answer a couple questions here. And while I'm answering questions, I can show you guys what we can expect. Oh, I forgot something, guys. Don't go nowhere. Let me show you this real quick. Please don't go nowhere. I really want to show you this. Okay, I forgot to show you this one, number 1. This is the radiation storm. That's why it's at the poles. Okay? So when we get a flare, you'll see a bullseye pattern in the middle somewhere, wherever the day side is. And then the radiation that hangs around the poles. Okay? So that's why it looks like that. Anyway, what I wanted to show you is the Aurora forecast. So let's go to the Aurora dashboard. You guys can come over to the Space Weather Prediction Center, any page, and scroll down to the bottom, and it'll have that dashboard stuff and any model that I use. Most of it's there. But I also put the links to the models I show you guys in my description box. Okay, so this is what they're forecasting for tonight. I actually agree with this. If anybody has a chance at all, clear skies tonight, go outside. Look up. If you don't see it with your naked eye, pull your phone out. That's one thing I learned from the last one back, a year and a half ago. If I had pulled my phone out, I would have seen it. Because I didn't get a chance to see it. Me and my daughter even went out in the country. And everybody else around us was seeing it, but they were using their phone. So I was kind of ignorant to that at that point. But I'm not ignorant to that now. But you can see this, guys. Look. I mean, it doesn't get much more intense when talking about Aurora than what we're going to be seeing. Alright? I do think with the way the state of our magnetic field and everything, that these things need to be redone. This needs to be increased in intensity. I think it needs to be lowered down some. I don't know how far. I don't know the math on that. All I know is that every time we've had a geomagnetic storm for the past 2 years at least, we're seeing Aurora further south than we should be with that level of a storm. Satellites falling out of the sky. All those kinds of things. Right? So I do think they need to redo some of these scales. And they probably will. Hopefully they will. But that's what we can look forward to here tonight. That's a KP of 8. Okay, that's a G4. Now they're saying KP of 7 tomorrow night. So tomorrow night's going to be almost as good. I don't think the Aurora is going to stop. If you guys get any Aurora photography and you want me to show it, please email it to me and tell me I can share it, and I'll show it to everybody. I love doing that. Aurora is so cool in my opinion. I've never seen it with my own eyes, but I will one of these days. But as you can see here, this is a KP of 9. If we get to that far, that's a G5. I do think, again, that should be lowered. I mean, the storm back in April, a year and a half ago, not quite a year and a half, but a year and a few months, we were seeing Aurora really close to the equator. Okay? So, I mean... I don't want to say like within a few miles of the equator, but we were seeing it down here in Florida, southern Texas, Mexico, some of the islands down here. So, I mean, come on, let's be real here. Let's fix this. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what to say there. Okay. All right. You guys got any questions? Well, thank you, Brokerfish. Appreciate you. Scrappy Cat, thank you again for becoming a member. And I would encourage anybody who wants to jump in there and have some fun with us. Being a member is cool. And when I get a chance to be able to give you guys some, let me see if I can. Doesn't look like I have any to give out right now. Okay. I don't think I have it. Yeah, I got it, bud. Okay. Okay. So, I'll do that. See, I've been a member of my own channel for 13 months. Watch. Here we go. Hey. There we go. See? There I am. Well, thanks, Linda. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad everybody could make it tonight. I miss you guys. I really, truly do. I'm glad I'm back, and I'm feeling good about it. And I want to make this big. Hey, Renee, member for 12 months, baby. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And if you guys want to do something special and a members only, you just let me know, and I'll try to make it happen. I'm probably going to be giving away some, I got some decks of cards still. Hey, Monk. Hey, Garcia, or Gracia. How you say that? I'm pronouncing that wrong. I know I am. Gracia, maybe? Hey, Daryl, what's up? Heather Jackson, that's right. Yeah, Earthquakes are a concern too, guys, when we see this. Okay, any of this stuff. Use night sight setting on your phones and cameras. Yeah, that's good good advice there, Laura. Thank you for that. But yeah, so if you guys want to have some fun with us and just hang out, we really do. We have a good time over there, and it's not ever expected or even, I mention it about once or twice a video, and I only do that because some people don't know that I have them. Use time-lapse cam on your phone to see them move. Yeah, that'd be cool. Good advice there too. Hey Trinity, what's happening, girl? Prayers for you. Let's get some ones in the chat for Trinity. She's going through it some here, guys. So let's give her some prayers and good thoughts. Hey Pam, good to see ya. Matt, what's up? Soup. What a name. I love that name, Soup. Email me, Soup. I might be able to hook you up, brother. I got some hanging around here. They're pretty cool. I got their bicycle. They're high quality. Well, Miss has got some, and so is Ilea, and a lot of other people here. Okay, Gracia. Thank you. I don't want to pronounce somebody's name wrong. It's kind of embarrassing when you do that. Some people get offended by that really bad. Can this cause more power outages? Yes, absolutely can. Is it going to? I don't know. That's the biggest question, I think. It always has the possibility to do it. And, again, like I said before, it's not just one thing. It's like we look at Aurora, we look at other things that are happening around us to get an idea of what's happening, but it takes all of it to happen in a certain way for those kinds of things to happen. It's not just I can't just say, hey, the BZ went to -6, put your head between your legs and kiss your butt goodbye because we're about ready to get smacked, right? No, I can't say that. It's more than just the BZ. It's the speed, it's the density, it's the timing of when it hit, it's the state of our magnetic field at the time. Did we just have a geomagnetic storm? Is there one, did it happen a couple days ago? All these things, right? And unfortunately, we get a lot of people that will focus on one thing, and everybody just thinks that that's what causes things to happen. And it might be the straw that broke the camel's back, but it's not the whole story, guys. And that's why I try to let everybody understand we got to look at all of it. Hey, Franklin, good to see you. Hey, Susie Q. Chris is in the house, baby. Heck yeah. Look here, guys, though. Look, you see the BZ? What's it doing now? It's going back negative. So I'm telling you guys, this is going to get... When it goes from, like, negative to positive in these big swings, we're going to see things. Oh, you know what? I never showed you the magnetosphere. Daggone it. Hold on. This it? Okay, here it is. I'm sorry, guys. I meant to show you this. This is our magnetosphere. This is the CMEs coming in from left to right. Okay. So let me just. This is magnetic pressure. This is density, and this is speed. Notice how the speed's staying pretty consistent until right there. We were in the middle of that corona hole stream, and now the CMEs are arriving. That's why you've seen it move. We'll watch it do it again right here. Watch. Watch what happens here. See how it kind of settles down right there? It's because the conditions became pretty stable, all moving at the same time. Now watch. Watch what happens. Wham. There it goes again. So what you're seeing there is a fluctuation in speed. You'll see the same thing with density. Usually with high speed you get low density. Now on the initial hit from CMEs and stuff like that, you get them at the same time. And that's one of the reasons why we get hit so hard sometimes. But this is really what tells the story. Okay? This is magnetic pressure. Yeah, Broken Fish, I don't have Wages World cards, but I have solar cards. There's a Bicycle did a whole line of cards that were space related, um, and they're really cool. Ask Mist and Ilea, and a few others got them too. I tell you what, because I haven't been here for a minute, I'll work out something here, and we'll try to figure out a giveaway for some of these cards. Um, we'll get people in here to chat, and we'll make it some sort of a game or something. Maybe a random number generator. We'll figure something out, and I'll see somebody here will win some cards. A couple of you. All right, that'd be fun anyway. I think I probably need to do that anyway. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and pop off, guys. Now, when things start, if they start getting really, really dicey again in the middle of the night, if they do, I might pop back on for a really short one. If not, you'll see me tomorrow. I'm just not sure what time yet. I may try to do one in the morning, but my daughter is graduating tomorrow. She's walking tomorrow, so obviously that's where I'm going to be. My focus is going to be her tomorrow, and that's what I'm going to be doing. She's just, yeah, she's so awesome. She really is. She's turned into an awesome young woman, and I'm just proud of her. I can't. And my boys are the same. And I just, I get emotional about it because they're part of me, and yeah, I just wish I could have done even half of what my kids are doing. It just, they're just really good people. That's all. And they are why I'm still here. I promise you that. That and my best friend in there, she's taking a nap right now, my wife. Actually, she's probably in bed for the night. She worked so hard today, guys. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate her. She worked so hard getting my daughter's party and stuff going. And everybody was helping too, but I mean, she really, I'm telling you, man, I don't know if I could function without her. I really don't. When I say that, I'm not just saying it a little bit. I really think that, yeah. So, when I talk to God, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, let me go first, because I don't want to be here without her. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pop off, and I will see you guys tomorrow for sure. Just not really sure what time yet. So, please spread this around. Trying to grow the channel again. We'll get this thing back and going, and I've already increased some subscribers just from doing a couple shows already, so that's kind of encouraging. And I don't dwell on the numbers. I think you guys know that. It's just a way for me to know if I'm doing a good job or not. At least it's something I can look at, tangible. I can see it. I put more stock in the conversations I have with you guys. That's what I look at. Mostly. So, if you guys think I'm doing something wrong, or hey, can you please do this or do that, I always listen, and if I can do it, I do it. So I'm always open to suggestions. And again, guys, anybody wants to become a member, I mean, we really do have a lot of fun over there. We watch chiropractors just beat up on people. We watch some crazy Zoom court. I watched a lawyer doing Zoom court the other day call some woman a crazy lady. and she stopped. She said, "Judge, you gonna let her talk? She gonna let him defame me like that?" And the judge didn't say anything, and the lawyer turned his mic back on and said, I'll defame you all day long, lady," and shut his camera off. I was cracking up. It was hysterical, man. I've never seen nothing like it in a courtroom. It was funny. But anyway, that's the kind of stuff we do. We laugh over there in the members only. So, anyway, enough of that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. But anyway, guys, God bless. Yahusha saves. If you guys need anything, just email me, okay? God bless. Yahusha saves, and as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.